Good morning. I'm back again with some more canning, only today is plums. A friend from church gave me 3 big giant bags of plums that were on sale for 11 cents a pound. She found last night, so she put it in our group chat and asked if anybody wanted any, and I said sure. And so I'm gonna preserve them today because they're still really firm and really good quality. I believe they're red plums. Can't see what the label says. But anyway, I've got all these to deal with, and I've got my jars ready to go in the oven. They're clean. They're gonna go in the oven to get hot and stay warm while I wash and depit these. And then I read that the skin in plums has natural pectin, but I do have some of this Bernardin. That's the brand that I really prefer using for pectin and things. For jars, I like Bernardin, and I like Golden Harvest, I believe it's called, or Country Harvest, whatever the name is. But yeah, so I'm gonna get these washed, and then I'll show you when they're in the pot. I finally remembered to put my apron on. I got it off Amazon last summer, and the bib part, the top part, only comes to about here, and when it goes around my neck, it doesn't barely give me enough room. So I just fold it in half and I put it up right underneath, and so that it covers, because I always get my stomach dirty and wet when I'm cooking. And I finally made the smart decision to put my book in a bag so it doesn't get sticky, because there's already some sticky spots on some of the pages, which makes me sad because it was my mom's and I want it to last as long as possible. So now it's in a book, or in a bag, and it will stay hopefully clean and last longer. So I have 9 pounds roughly of plums cut, and in there with, the recipe said almost 5 cups of flour, sugar, but I only did 4. So I'm gonna let that cook down, and then I'll add in my pectin and ladle it into hot jars and water bath can for 15 minutes. So it's starting to cook down, but I did add a little bit of water in the bottom because I didn't want the sugar or the plums to scorch. And I counted the stickers that came off of each plum, and there's 56 plums in there. I'm not quite sure how many jars of jam it's gonna make, but I'm really excited about this. Plus, I still have 2 big bags left. That's only 1 bag that's in the pot there. So as that stuff cooks down, I will cut and de-stone or take the pit out of the middle of them and get them ready for just straight canned plums, not jam or anything like that. The first 8 jars are in the water bath canner, and that's the bottom. The bottom of the pot. I just love the color of it. It is so vibrant. And one dropped on my finger, and a bit of it, so I tasted it, and it's super good. I can't wait. I don't know if you can hear it, but I love the sound of the jars clacking together as they're boiling. So the first 11 jars are out of the canner, and all but 1 seal has popped so far. And I have the rest of the plums cooking down, and I'm just gonna can them in their own syrup. I'm not gonna mash them down and add pectin to make jam. So yeah, my kitchen's a complete disaster again. But yeah, so I've got 11 jars so far, and then I have 12 glass jars in the oven keeping warm so I can fill them, and then I will water bath can them in batches because I can only fit 6 or 7 of the 1 liter jars in there at a time. So yeah, that's what's happening so far, and I'm gonna do some cleanup while I wait for those plums to cook down. I'm gonna make lasagna for supper tonight, and I forgot to pull the meat out to defrost earlier because I was busy with the plums. So I pulled it out and I let it sit on the counter for about an hour, and then I put it in this big pot with some water, and then as the water boiled, it defrosted the meat, and then I drained all the water off. So now I'm just letting it brown up, and I'll add my sauce and tomatoes and vegetables, and then I'll show you after. So the meat's all browned, And I have tomatoes, celery, carrot, and onion in there as well. And then I don't normally do this, and I haven't done it for a long time, but sometimes I'll make a simple bechamel sauce and put that in a layer. It's creamy and it's delicious, and it just makes it seem cheesier than it is, and it's just a simple sauce like that. So I'm going to put that in the middle of the layers. I'm going to put cheese on one of the layers in between the noodles, and then I'll put this right in the center, and then I'll do cheese on the top again in between other layers. And then, yeah, I'm going to bake it at 375 for about an hour. And for the last 15 minutes, I'll take the foil off and let the cheese brown, and I'll show you after once I have it assembled. And my last batch of plums has 12 minutes left on it, and then I'll be done canning for today. So there's the lasagna all assembled. It's ready to go in the oven, and the oven's preheated. So I'm going to spray the shiny side of tin foil with some cooking spray so that as the cheese melts and bubbles, it doesn't stick to the lid, because then when I pull the lid off, all the cheese would come off. So I spray the foil, and then it doesn't stick nearly as bad. And I will show you when it's all ready and it comes out of the oven and plated. My last jars of plums just came out of the water canner. So in total, I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 jars of plums. And I had 3, 6, 9, 11 jars of jam. There's extra jars, but they're dirty, so I'm gonna have to wash them for the next time I use them. But I'm pretty happy with how it came out. Some of them cooked a little too long, but if we don't eat them as is, then I can always turn it into jam, which doesn't hardly look any different. It's just a bit of texture. I just use my immersion blender in these guys and not in there. But the nature of plums is that they're gonna disintegrate pretty quickly anyway. Canning is done for another day, and I'm glad. I got 22 more jars today, so add that to the 45 so far as of yesterday. 45 and 22 is 67. So I think I'm doing pretty good for 3 days worth.